I'm doing another test with the smoke bomb mixture. In this test, what I'm doing is I'm trying to determine if wrapping it in newspaper is what makes it go a lot faster or better, because previously I've had somewhere I've wrapped it in newspaper and somewhere I've just kind of had it out in the open, and my assumption going into those tests is that it wouldn't make a difference. But it seems to me that the stuff wrapped in newspaper has burnt better than the stuff in the open, which I'll be simulating by putting on some cardboard just as a place to push it down, like I've done in some previous tests. And in this case, because I'm trying to make the exact same mixture, I'm mixing up one batch of 80 grams total of a 60% potassium nitrate and a 40% sugar. And I'm going to split that into 4 different tests, so I have 2 in the open and 2 in newspaper as a comparison method. Right now I'm just boiling off the water, tearing for a similar sized piece of cardboard. I'm then going to measure the samples to estimate their weight. Now this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. I guess I'm going to have to, tear for this and the piece of cardboard. That one is 16.5 grams. That one is 18.9 grams. Then doing the same except for sheet of newspaper, which is of the same size as the newspaper I was measuring for. I was using for those. Number 3 is 19.5 grams, and number 4 is 23.0. So I didn't do the best job evening these out. I tried, but it's just hard, and I think this one ended up, because this is the last one I put together, ended up with more scrapings, just kind of what I was scraping out of the pan, as opposed to the other ones which I was trying to evenly divide up. I think the results of this experiment are pretty clear. Wrapping the mixture in newspaper seems to have produced much better results and keep it burning and just have a much better time than putting it in open, or in this case on cardboard. In addition to newspaper just being a much better fuse, I was able to light the newspaper entirely with just a lighter, whereas even to light the cardboard I needed the blowtorch. Admittedly, if I had a perfectly calm day and I wasn't getting my hand a little bit hot from holding the lighter, I think it would be possible to light the newspaper with a lighter, but it's just in this situation it wasn't, whereas it was fairly easy to light the newspaper with a lighter, even though it does take some time and have to wait till the wind is down a little bit. But once I get a flame on the lighter, it lights off pretty quickly. So that helps. And what this last test showed, where I was trying to relight the lump that was left over from test number 2, after multiple trials with the blowtorch trying to light that in the open, is that actually putting the goop in the newspaper, though this was only a single one without wrapping, but it matches some previous times when I've re-wrapped stuff after it's partially burned. Doing that with just the newspaper, re-wrapping it didn't seem to work as well as when I had the newspaper around it from putting the hot stuff on the newspaper. I wonder if that's just because the newspaper gets a lot closer when I have the hot stuff around it, and it stays in that twisted fuse formation that I make. But what this shows is that if I'm doing tests in the future, kind of the way I put them together really does matter. It isn't just the mixture, just another variable that has to be accounted for.